Aloha, Big Island. This is Wago. Today's January 20th, and this is your update. Today is Martin Luther King Day. If you can't get out of work or whatnot to support and go to a parade or march, I would say go online. Check out any of the live avenues. YouTube something, MLK Day, if you'd like to, in your Yang Gang, Andrew Yang MLK, and you'll see everything that's kind of like the Yang Gang going out supporting. I do believe Voice is out doing that, has a live stream right now. All right, January 20th. The purpose of this channel, if you're new to the Yang Gang and you're new to the Big Island here, even if you're not, this is like a Cliff Notes. Take all of yesterday's information, squish it into a little segment in about 5 to 10 minutes. If you're new to the island here, we're going to be voting on April 4th. Those are our primaries, so make sure you're registered. Go to vote411.org, or you can sign up the day of, but make sure you go early. And honestly, I would sign up way before and get a mail-in ballot, so at least you know you got it. Sign up as a Democrat, get Andrew there. But more importantly, the February 3rd primaries for Iowa are right around the corner. We're gonna watch the wave come down on the rest of the nation. But the way you can help, if you're brand new to this, text banking and phone banking. It's so crazy amazing how much you'll learn. And it's so crazy amazing how many phone calls you'll go through until you reach the one person who just wants to talk. If you listen, people will tell you the same concerns on both sides. So it is not left, it is not right, it is absolutely forward. All right, so register to vote. Go to vote411.org, register yourself. The purpose of this is to meet other Big Island Yang Gang, form events, canvas for Yang, hang door hangers, reminding people to register, and informing them about Andrew Yang and his policies. Yesterday, we were at the Women's March, and it was amazing. I must have talked to over 150 people, talked about policies, but it was very simple. If you want $1,000 a month, it's gonna change your life. You wanna empower women, put $1,000 in women's hands. You wanna empower Black communities and put money into Black businesses, give the money to the Black community. Let them do it. Everybody should just have the money to fundamentally start capitalism at 1,000 rather than 0. Thusly, more economic change would happen. It would be stimulated instantaneously in your local neighborhoods. Watch it. And if you have any questions about this, just go online, Google it. Watch Michael Tubbs from Stockton in California. Watch the pilot program he's doing, amongst many other pilot programs. Digress. Okay, so moving on for today, the Yang Daily 10. Yang Daily 10 is a forum where you can spend 10 minutes each day doing something for the campaign. Only takes 10 minutes. Today, it's Happy Martin Luther King Day. Share this video on Facebook. There's a video which is all about Martin Luther King. It's not about anybody else, not about the campaign, just about the man. Watch it, share it. Today's his day. All right. Using the phone. Go to 2020.com, get informed about policies, get informed about events. All you gotta do is type in whereabouts you live or the general region. It'll tell you the closest Yang Gang function, whether it's a math out, a Yang Gang hang, whether it's phone banking party, it's canvassing, or just doing something kind and pledge for humanity, like picking up trash. There's all sorts of stuff on there. Be a part of it, it's awesome. You could also buy merch there. If you don't have any money, you could also go to yanggangbigisland.com. Some people give money there, and you could actually request to get a shirt or a hat if you're low on funds. All publicity helps, and every person that needs this gear is probably the people that are in that 80%. They're the 73% living paycheck to paycheck. One big bill means you're not able to afford a hat or something you believe in. If you've already gone past your budget for the actual donation, this is a way you could also contribute to the campaign and help. And remember, donate, donate, donate. Right now, we're trying to raise funds. We're trying to get so many people onto phone banking for Iowa. The numbers, as Paget is going to talk about, are rather surprising for where we are right now. The wave is not peaking. It's not cresting. It's not at its typical apex. What's happening? Okay, she'll talk about that. And you could also donate to us on Patreon. What we do is we get swag and hand it out at events that we have for flyers. We're going to give a special shout out to 2 brothers from Waimea that totally came through and gave us thousands of business cards later in there. All right, Swag Angel, next meeting for Big Island side-ish. If you want to come through, it would be awesome. January 26th in Hilo, Hawaii. We're doing it at the Pavilion from 3 to 5 on that Sunday, unless otherwise noted. And I'll put a YouTube video out here, and I'll contact everybody that's subscribed to us. Also, if you haven't, give a shout out, yanggangbigisland@gmail.com. Ask us any questions, and if we can't get the answer, we will use Slack, and we'll use the Yang Gang online via the same sort of program we use for Hustle and give you the best answers we can. Also, Andrew's been out for a while here now, yeah? You could probably Google anything you have. What I've been doing to find answers, even if it's something convoluted, I'll put Andrew Yang on, and it'll generally have something about that. All right, so moving on to today, 366 days till inauguration. I'm Ron Burgundy. I did not check that today, but we're around in the 360s till President Andrew Yang and First Lady Evelyn Yang take office. Do you want to become a precinct captain in Iowa? If so, there's the description down below. You don't have to live in Iowa. You just got to do the deed. Get out there and help Iowa right now before their primaries. All right, Sunday's Women March I thought was wonderful. We marched with the women. We did not hold our Andrew Yang signs during the march because I read the code of conduct, and I think without actually organizing that, it would have been infringing maybe. But we did hand out flyers and held them there at the rally. People came up and talked to us. There's about 150 people I must have talked to. People were asking questions. I was fielding them the same way I would on text banking and the same way I would on phone banking. If you haven't joined the text banking and you haven't joined the phone banking, I would say do it. It'll inform you on policy. It'll help you negotiate the waters that are so interesting and hard to communicate. And once you get a good idea, you see how all the policies work as an amazing Venn diagram, where one policy like dropping the penny, which costs money in deficit, and then maybe making Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C. states, and how putting term limits on congressional seats, how those things in and of themselves in combination with democracy dollars, the UBI, and Medicare will fundamentally change our local neighborhoods and quite possibly the world. Spend more time Google. We're gonna do our best to explain policies here in the next upcoming year so you also get an understanding of them. Today's videos that Boyce is doing is talking about what Andrew Yang wants to do for veterans. More than handshake policies, like putting a roof over your head, making sure when you come back from any situation that you're well adjusted to this type of society, not boot camp society. We'll go into detail later down. And also, if you're going to check out Twitter today, it's all about the rallies from the Women's March the other day, and it's all about today, Martin Luther King Day. Both very valuable, both awesome to watch. Go and check out your local one, and then go onto your Yang, which is local. You could just type your neighborhood or your area code in Yang Gang. Something will pop up for you to get involved. And awesome, because that's when the goosebumps come. Okay, moving on to the video. Zach Mack show. Evelyn was speaking at New York City's Women's March. She really encompassed his stump speech, but she talked about things that are current policy and current day issues. Evelyn, she speaks with authority and she speaks with conviction, much like Andrew Yang. It's amazing to watch. Watch that, it's in the description. Humanity First. Let's see, Sean is talking points over the top of. Dave Rubin talks about Yang and the media and the bias on Tucker Carlson, which is pretty interesting. If you've never seen that show, I actually don't watch the show except for clips to see what that is. I try to be non-biased on this channel, and I try not to put my own influence. In fact, I don't even really like to talk about me on this channel. Honestly, let's look at this. Dave Rubin talks to him, explains why the media bias and the Iowa polls and the New Hampshire polls, South Carolina polls are interesting. Yesterday at the Women's March, people thought Andrew Yang was out of the debates or out of the process because he was not in the debate. And when I informed him that X amount of number were done between November and December, and then in January, it was only so many. He had to get 4 at 5 or 2 at 7, and the polling just wasn't there. In combination with the media blackout and just not doing due service and justice in media with journalism, there is a reason why you thought that. And it's very interesting to have to explain that is not the case. And have to explain if you would like to be more integrated, just Google it daily. Don't Google Fox, don't Google MSNBC, just Google Andrew Yang. Whatever he's doing will pop up in a video that day. Why? Thank you, Yang Gang. Thank you to everybody who has a channel. Thank you to everybody who just bought cards, like the Parker brothers. Just everybody. We are making it aware on here, and we are doing our best and just taking it all in. And the idea maybe is as after the wave crashes in February and the nation knows who Andrew Yang is, the funds that were going to South Carolina, Nevada, places like that have already voted might be diverted to places like this so we could have a centralized office, get a little bit more organized. The ladies and gentlemen over on Oahu are doing a wonderful job too. Thank you, team. We got a lot of great information. We are on a big island. A whole island chat on Thursdays at 6 o'clock. If you haven't seen that, go to the website, get involved with Mobilize. It's on there. Alrighty, moving on, Patrick Hague, they're still doing the phone banking face-off, and I believe Steve's up at this moment. So check out her links, and she, in this video, particularly talks about how presidential the two are looking, Yang and Andrew and Evelyn. Very presidential. The things they're talking about, the way that they're expressing them to Americans is relatable, and you're going to see that when the wave crashes in February. All right, Boyce, of course, was doing the Vets for Yang, but Mindful Skeptics podcast series. He came out, is that what you're doing? Go check him out for the MLK March and just catch it live. It's awesome. He's just walking around talking to people. And then this video, he chats with many different people, including Richard Porter, with a guy named Grant, who was a CER in the, who's a vet. Fred the Felon pops in about 30 minutes in. Jenna Skinner is in there talking about civilian employment and transition times due to automation and different things that relate to veterans as well. And then at the end, Nydia, I believe is how you pronounce her name. She also joins in and has some awesome valid points at 1 hour and 8 minutes. The video is kind of long, so if you pop in between those every 5-10 minutes, there's deeper discussions, but they do go into many different things. During that time, Boyce is breaking down those more than a handshake policies. So if you are a vet and you are interested, this is the video for you. Please share and subscribe this if you're a vet as well. I would love for people to be more informed about the other policies that we might not know about. VETS is more than a handshake, and Andrew lays it out, stuff like making sure every vet has a roof over their head, making sure that they have mental health care, making sure that the $700 billion that was spent out of our $21 trillion as a nation goes more than just a couple pennies to the veterans who serve for this nation and got us to where we are by any means of imperialism. Anywho, I digress. Wants to put a roof over everybody's head. Sign waivers about controlled drugs, meaning some drugs help people. And if you get busted and you're a vet and you go into the system, you are now part of the system which is there to deprive people of justice and make money in a private institution. It's incorrect. Andrew also has policies about privatized institutions like that, big business prisons. Anywho, improving vet health is extremely important, and part of one of the policies is reversing boot camp. When you go into the military or any sort of firm, basically I've heard they break you down until you're nothing. They build you back up and give you confidence, and you are part of this unit. It makes sense for what they're pushing. My opinion aside, people when they come out of that need to have some sort of period of time, more than 2 or 3 weeks, which is less than boot camp, to readjust to civilian life. They talk about that in this video. Getting a little long-winded here. It's almost to 12 minutes. I generally try and keep these under 8 to 10 minutes. However, I want to go through one more. Nerds for Yang, and there's also a Iowa City's Women's March. Tom interviewed Evelyn Yang, and a lot of his clips for the next couple days, I assume, would be from that because it's valuable and important. Check out his video here where they're talking about what it feels like to be First Lady, and she looks like presidential material, and they're talking about that and how Andrew just calls to the individual inside every one of us to open up ourselves and to become woke. That basically is what is going into this little clip. This is about a 10-minute segment. It's great to watch just to get more to know about Evelyn, and Tom always does a great job pulling out the data. Woo! All right, Aaron Piepert has the Iowa City March at 2:20, and at 45 minutes and 50 seconds, Reverend Wendy comes out. Reverend Wendy is like the spiritual ministry advisor to the Yang campaign. So honestly, when she heard about robots are coming, she says a whole other thing about that at 45:50 in there. So check that out. She's really funny, but everything Andrew's talking about there is basically a stump speech, but it's catered for today and yesterday. And here's where we are. Big Island shout out to Evan and Andrew Parker. They brought thousands of business cards. What they do is they take the card, bend the little corner, and just boop, right in the cars. They hit almost every car that I saw leaving the event. We looked around the event, you know, people were taking them with them, which was great. And here's the thing, they are biodegradable. So of those people who do not wish to be informed about how they could be enlightened with $1,000 a month and did toss them, they will biodegrade in a week or two. Long story short, thanks guys, that's amazing. They're up in Waimea, and if you have any contact questions, you can put them in the comments below. If you have suggestions for the channel, if you want to hear about a certain topic, put it down there as well, or you can contact us at yanggangbigisland@gmail.com. If you have any questions about policy, go to the website, Yang.20th, and get involved. Right now, we can use text bankers, we can use phone makers. Thank you very much. Mahalo and aloha, Big Island.